And I think we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on my Tuesday, a little bit later evening live stream. My name is Jim. This is More Sunshine, Please. Perhaps you hear some traffic in the background. That is due to my special guest this evening. It is Derek from D&G Explorers. He is here live from Las Vegas. Derek, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me on here today. Greg is here with me, but we've been going over for the last couple of weeks. He's been going through a lot of family things, so he wants to keep it a little bit private, but he is here. Just that we ask you guys to keep positive thoughts and prayers to him and his family, and we'll leave it at that. We'll add a little bit more as we go along later, but just send positive thoughts to him, and that's why we haven't been live for a couple of weeks. We haven't done any videos, but we will be back eventually. But we are here in Vegas. It's my mom's birthday. It was Saturday, so every year we like to come out to Vegas. This is actually our last day here. So we are, one of the things we do is, if you look behind me, we are at Harrah's, and we go to Toby Keith's. It's kind of our last night ritual, and this is a culmination of the end of the trip. So thanks again, Jim, for having us on, and thanks to everyone for your support that you guys have been giving us and understanding.
Oh, absolutely. Tell Greg we said hi. We're thinking of him. And I want to know a bit more about your trip there. When did you get there?
We came in on Saturday. We live near Fresno, California. It only takes about 50 minutes to fly from a direct flight from Fresno to Las Vegas. So it's a pretty short flight as a crow flies. However, we like to drive, and it takes us about 6.5 hours. So we left at 6 a.m. out of Fresno. We stopped a few times. We probably didn't get here till 2 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock. And so it was a little bit longer than normal. So we got here Saturday afternoon, and we stay here pretty frequently. We like to stay at New York, New York. We get comped nights. So for me, I had 3 comped nights of the 4 nights that I'm staying here.
Wow. And how many times have you been to Vegas?
Ooh. That's a good question. I know my mom, she turned 70, and she just turned 78. So 8 years ago, we started coming here, her and I had gone once before that. So we've been averaging anywhere from 3 to 4 times a year. A couple times we went 5 times a year. So close to 20, I guess. At a good guess, maybe more.
Wow. Now, I love Las Vegas, but I haven't been there in about 20 years, and I'm sure that it has changed quite a bit. Do you ever get to go, or do you ever take a trip to downtown Las Vegas?
We have been before. There's actually a bus, and it was called the Deuce, which I believe it still is the name of it. But it will take you from the Strip to downtown, which Fremont Street is the one that has the lighted roof on it, with kind of like the show that goes on. We stayed at the Golden Nugget. That was our first time that we ever stayed here. We made one visit down to the Strip during that trip, and we decided to stay on the trip ever since then. But I've probably been to Fremont Street 2 or 3 times.
Okay. We stayed there once, I think at the Four Queens, and we had a fantastic room that time, and we had a wonderful visit. I really enjoyed staying downtown, but also stayed on the Strip a few times, and that's great too. It seems like you can't go wrong in Vegas. Now, what kind of the 2 things I am familiar with about Vegas is the gaming, the gambling, and the food. Now, what kind of gambling or what kind of gaming do you guys do when you go to Vegas? Do you keep it light? Are you serious?
Sorry, my mom was calling me. Hold on 1 second.
Sure. I know I want to ask Derek when he gets back that we once played bingo. Actually, a couple of times we played bingo in Las Vegas, and you would think, if you're not familiar with bingo or are only familiar with bingo, At the church on the weekend or something like that, the local church. That's one thing, but bingo in Vegas is another thing. Have you guys ever played bingo while you were there?
Actually, never. I never have. We normally do the slots, um, and that's mainly it. I don't do the roulette wheel. I like to play 21, like on the little games. I'll play 21, but I did it at another casino where we live, and it was so nerve-wracking. I never, even though I won, I quit when I had, I think, won like $50. But the tables here, they're actually not bad. There's a couple of casinos that it's $5 per game, so that's actually not too bad. Um, but I've never had a chance to. I just do the slot machines.
I'll say this about uh, bingo. And I don't know if a lot of casinos have it anymore. It used to be a thing that they would offer. A lot of the casinos would offer to bring people into the rest of the casino to get them to play other games, of course, because there's always a winner in bingo. So it's not like other casino games where the house has a ridiculous edge. There's always a winner in bingo. And the last time we did it in Vegas, it was downtown, and it wasn't the Four Queens. It was the one across the street from the Four Queens. I can't remember the Horseshoe. Binion's Horseshoe, is that downtown?
Yes, it is. I don't
Okay,
know if
that
I've
may
been
have been
there, but
it.
that does sound familiar.
Okay. Well, it was probably they probably no longer offer it anywhere because they don't need to. But it was so much fun. You would think it would be a game for elderly people just hanging out, but it was not. It was full of everybody, and it was so much fun, and it was so exciting. And I know my wife won while we were there, and it was a for us anyway, a sizable jackpot. It was a ton of fun. What I'm saying, Derek, if you find a bingo game, give it a chance. It was a lot of fun. Now, the other side of that is the food, and Vegas is home to some world class buffets and all that. What's your go to when you're in Vegas, and do you have some go to places to eat while you're there?
We kind of have our own little rituals. When we get here, we stay predominantly at New York, with exception of today. We're at Harrah's. Uh, a lot of it has to do with the fact that MGM resorts, they're called M Life hotels. There's a lot of them on the strip, and you can charge them all back to your room, and you can help build points. And a lot of times you can get those comped as well. So the more activity you have on your room account, the better it is for them to invite you back into the future at a lower rate. But when we first get here, there's a place called the Gourmet Burger Bar and Grill, which is in the Village inside the New York Hotel. We always eat there. That's the start of the trip, and that's from my mom. That's where she likes to start at. But we'll also eat at Gonzalez y Gonzalez, which is another restaurant inside there. Our last night, which is tonight, we eat at Toby Keith's. And then in the morning before we leave, we eat breakfast at Tom Urban. So kind of a set ritual, but depending on how long we stay, we usually have one restaurant that we pick where we try something different. So that's usually the kind of the stuff. We don't go to the buffets. At one time Vegas was known for having good food at the buffets. It's still true, but the cost of them is really, really high. We are actually out in front talking about the restaurants. I'm going to switch it around. You guys can now see we are at Guy Fieri's. This is his place. So if you guys can't see, this is Harrah's here. So this is the front of Harrah's. Across the street is Treasure Island. There's the Mirage Hotel. And then over here is, this is part of the Link Hotel. It used to be the Imperial Palace, but this is Guy Fieri's restaurant. And so it's go big or go home. So we haven't eaten here yet, but we always talk about one of the days that are going. But this is definitely, there's a lot of big restaurants here, TV personalities. So it's always interesting to try different food from here.
Your picture right now is very striking. It looks awesome. It's just fun to watch you talk and look at all of these different places in Vegas. And like I said, I haven't been there in so long, and I don't even recognize. I know where you are, but I don't recognize it.
Well, we'll turn around. We'll walk a little bit further down. We probably won't stay on a whole lot longer if that's fine with you.
Absolutely.
Just to get back with my mom, but we took the monorail here. I'm going to switch it around while we talk. We did see Elvis. Elvis was in the house. We saw Emo. He was here. And we saw a person getting kicked out of Guy Fieri. So that was, one of the exciting things that you never know what you're going to get. Is my sound still coming out okay?
Yeah, it sure is. Did you say you took the monorail? I do not remember a monorail.
Yeah, there's a monorail. So here we are. Down here is New York, New York. Further on down, besides these taller buildings, New York is down on that. So it's not too far. And so we're about halfway down the strip. On this side of it, the monorail goes behind it. It's about 3.9 miles. We're not at the end of it. So it's $15 per day if you want to go unlimited. And there's 7 stops that it goes along the strips, along the 3.mile ride. And each stop you can go, you're going to have to cross a street. But here's Caesars. So this is where a lot of the Celine Dion plays over here. You guys can see that okay. Across the way over here, it says the Cosmopolitan, but hiding around the corner is the Bellagio. And then it looks like they're doing some construction. The one thing I want to show you guys is the wheel, the high roller wheel, which I thought is in an odd spot. You would think it would be on the strip, but it's actually a little bit behind the strip, off of it. But I think it's like a 30-minute ride, and you can drink while you're on it. So that's always interesting. But this is the Link. It used to be the Imperial Palace. They've done a lot of renovations to this. This is one of the Caesars resorts. They call it the Reward one. So basically between MGM and the Caesars resorts, they own the whole strip, basically. There's a few other odd ones, but there is the front of Caesars, which looks really cool.
Now, are you about to approach, I'm trying to gauge where you are, up on the left, will that be the Monte Carlo coming up?
Monte Carlo's no longer in existence. They changed, well, it's still there, but I don't know if you guys can see, I don't know what the view is, but it says Hell's Kitchen, and then above that, between these 2 tall buildings, there is a kind of a white and green building. That is the old Monte Carlo. It's right next to the New York. They changed it to Park MGM. So the hotel's still there, but they remodeled it and renamed it to Park MGM, which is right next to where the T-Mobile Arena is, where they do some of the big fights. That's where the hockey team plays, the Golden Knights. So that's all kind of a general area now. And this is the high roller, if you guys can see that. We've never done it before, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it's away from the strip too, though, which is surprising.
Is that a traditional Ferris wheel, or what's going on there? Is that like the eye?
Yeah, it looks like the eye, but it's out here in Vegas. So this is another area that they redid. This used to be O'Shea's. They still call it O'Shea's, but it's kind of more of like in honor of it. I don't think it says anything in there, but it still says the Link. But there's, of course, a Starbucks. And then here's one of Gordon Ramsay's restaurants. He has a lot of them here. And there's this Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips. We've never eaten there before.
While you continue to walk, I'm going to acknowledge some of the people that are joining us. It's time for a chat check. And we've got Busy Mama Perino. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being patient with us. Disney Nerd Herders, welcome. Bob and Ashley, thanks for being here. Uber Wisdom Videos, Jason, thank you for joining us. Sherry Coos, Mama Bear, Steve's World. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with me as I got my act together and trying to get this thing straightened. Jack Sandy, Claus Logan, welcome. Alyssa Stenberg, thank you for joining us and being patient with me. If you're just joining us, we are on with Derek from D&G Explorers. He is in Las Vegas, and he is walking the entire strip. No, he's not. He's right now, he's walking toward a giant Ferris wheel. I will be quiet so that we can go back and see what he sees.
All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining Jim's show. So this is longer than I remember. I don't remember being so far from and having so many shops here, but this is one of the newer spots that they built between the Flamingo, which is going to be to the right, and then to the left is the Link, which goes into Harrah's. So a lot of the hotels they've done here, they've done a lot of big renovations too.
We have a request for you to go into the In-N-Out burger and have a burger for all of us.
You know what? I don't know. I'm trying to think where that is. Oh, wait. Someone knows where they are because guess what? We are coming up to the In-N-Out burger. Who said that?
That was Uper Wisdom Videos, and Busy Mama Prino is it's her favorite burger place.
All right. Well, they definitely know the Vegas because that's coming up here on the right-hand side.
She says, I like to get my burger and fries animal style. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds exciting.
Well, I see they took my car away from me and it here. Wow, this has changed so much since I've been here. Like November, which I don't think I walked this in November, but I know I walked it like a year ago, and I don't remember seeing all this stuff here.
Oh, there it is, In-N-Out burger. I saw it.
Yep, right there is the In-N-Out burger. They got fountains. They have sprinkles, cupcakes, ice cream, cookies. Isn't that the name of the one in Disney Springs? Sprinkles.
That's correct. It looks like the same sign too.
Oh, hey, wow. Sushi burritos. That is interesting, and there's the picture of it. I've never heard of sushi burritos before.
Put it on your to-do list, I guess.
There you go. Gary Deli's coming up here, so I won't go a whole lot further, but I know the Yard House is a pretty popular bar here. But yeah, up there, hey, there's, what the heck? There's people ziplining? Oh, wow. People are ziplining here. I didn't even notice that.
Get in line.
You guys see the string up there? Down, it says Fly Link. So that is something new that I have never seen them do. That's cool. It's kind of like Fremont Street without the covered top that has all the lights going on.
Fremont Street, or Disney Nerd says it looks a bit like City Walk. I guess there is that vibe there.
Yeah. But this is, we don't normally stay at this end. We normally stay down over there by New York, which has the MGM hotel. We like New York the best, so we usually stay down there, which means going into the old Monte Carlo and Aria. There's a way you can sneak into the back, so you don't have to walk along the streets. Even though the strip isn't incredibly long, it takes you a long time to walk it. They're doing a lot more pedestrian walkways, so that has alleviated the time. But there is how high the high roller is. I'm gonna see what the cost is since I'm already down here.
I have the sinking feeling you've abandoned your mother somewhere. Is she okay?
She's in Harrah's. We're gonna go. I told her after we go live, we're gonna go to. We're gonna eat dinner.
Oh, good.
They just say the hours, which are 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so tickets before 6 is $40. Anytime night tickets was $52. That's for happy hour, so that includes the drinks, and it looks like I think I saw $26 for just to go around it without any drinks in it. So yeah, this is a big change to Vegas and what they've had over the years.
Nothing looks familiar to me, but it's been a long time. Now, isn't there also a Marvel experience somewhere in Las Vegas right now?
Yeah, I know Alpha Traveler 1, he did a vlog on it, but that's over there at Treasure Island, so just a little bit north of Harris. It's they do have a Marvel experience. I haven't done it yet, but I know Alpha Traveler 1 was Kenny was talking about it.
I don't know.
Let me ask you about a couple of resorts that I remember from my last visit. Is the Stratosphere still there?
It is. They are changing the name, so it's now going to be called the Strat. I don't know why they said people call it the Strat, but I've never heard of anyone call it the Strat. But it is still there. They just are going to rename it.
And we once stayed at the Stardust. I don't think the Stardust is there anymore, is it?
No, it's not. I've heard of it. I'm not sure if where it was, to be honest. I don't know if it's part of what they call now the Strip, or if it was Old Town Vegas.
The Stardust was next to the Riviera, I think. If that's still there.
No, that's not here anymore either.
I should just write a history book on Vegas.
There they go up there. Zip lining.
I wonder if they're racing. Awesome. Oh, I'll be quiet.
I don't know. That's pretty cool. That's something new. I hope I'm recording okay for you guys.
It looks great. Looks great. Thank you for taking us on this tour. I know you have plans, so thank you for being patient with me and taking the time to show us this. This is very cool.
No worries. I'm just going to head on back, and then I'll sign off so Jimmy, you can finish the rest of your show. But any other questions that I can help you guys with?
I don't know. Rob Fuzz is here. Thank you, Rob, for joining us. Oh, that's a. I just checked the chat. Disney Nerd Herder says, "Is Mo Green still there?" No. Hasn't been there since the 50s. Tragic end to that guy's life. Godfather reference, by the way, if anybody's wondering. Sherry has to run. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night. Now, Shays has been there a long time, right?
Yeah, correct. It used to be its own one, but it's when you walk inside, unless they've done something different, it's basically the link. There's really, well, it does say like, oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Now, that area has changed incredibly. I know, and I remember my wife and I went to a brunch right around that area. I think it was a crab leg and mimosa brunch, and I think it was next door to Shays, someplace that's clearly no longer there, has been replaced by sushi burritos or something. But it was a very fond memory for us.
Yeah, this walkway was not here. It just basically went right into the Flamingo. They do have Margaritaville, which is down here on the left. It also has a casino in there, but it's basically connected to the Flamingo and is a part of the Flamingo.
Cargo stop by. Can't stay, but hit the like button. Thank you so much, Cargo, for joining us. We're on with Derek from D&G Explorers. He's in Las Vegas for a couple more minutes. Busy Mama Perino has never seen The Godfather. It's an American classic. Set aside some time. I
I
urge
haven't
you.
either.
What? This is unbelievable. I've never seen Gone with the Wind, so.
I don't like mobster movies.
Then you've never seen Bugsy, about the man that started Las Vegas.
I did. There was there was something here in one of the. We did a tour for the. It was a mobster tour actually, and the mobster museum, I believe it was. We actually did that. That was interesting, but just in general, I found the history of it interesting and the link to Vegas, but the movies, I haven't been able to get into them.
Does Lance Burton still have a magic show in Vegas?
Possibly, but the name doesn't sound.
Then he does not. He was the house magician at the Monte Carlo, so I guess it would stand
Yeah,
to
no.
reason if that's no longer there, he's no longer there. But
Yeah,
he
no,
was
that's,
he was one of the big names that I remember when last we were there.
the only musician that I know, or not musician, magician that's here is the one who won America's Got Talent a couple years ago. I can't think of his name, and we just saw a sign for him. He's performing at the Link, but um, he's the only, off the top of my head, the only magician, at least that I know, or who would know, that performs here. Cher's still performing here, believe it or not. We saw her
And that you
farewell.
saw when you saw Cher, you saw her in Vegas.
Yep, and that was her farewell tour. That was last year, so she's her farewell tour is still continuing. I don't know if
And
you saw
that's a video on your channel. People can see
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah, that got copyrighted against. I wonder why. I was gonna say I thought that there's Treasure Island. That's where the Marvel Experience is.
Do they still have the pirate ships in front of Treasure Island?
I don't know if they have the ships, and for what I understand, they don't do the show anymore.
Oh, okay. And I think I just read something about Donnie and Marie. Are they ending a residency in
They are.
Vegas?
They are.
Where do they perform?
They perform at the Flamingo. Um, believe it or not, that was my second favorite show that I have seen in Vegas. That was a really good show.
And then what are the other big names? Just really quick before we let you go. Is Celine Dion still in Vegas?
Yeah, it shows there's a sign for her at Caesars that she's still there. Lady Gaga's been doing shows. Britney Spears, I've seen signs for her. They show for residency, different people coming in. They might not be here long. Reba was here with some other country singers. I can't think of their name, but they're pretty. Brooks and Dunn, I think. Brooks and Dunn and Reba. The Righteous Brothers are here. They're performing at Harrah's. So there's a lot of good names that are here. Before they used to come here when they retired. Now big name acts here for a little bit.
Absolutely. Oh, then there's the Mirage right behind you. Well, Derek, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for taking us on a little tour there. It was great to see you. And thank you so much for joining me on the live stream.
All right, thanks, Jim. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Jim if you haven't already. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Derek. We'll see you later. I've got some Disney stories that I want to get to, but I want to I'll check the chat while I'm here. Graham, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining us. Disney Nerd Herder says Godfather is a love story about cannolis and oranges. And to a lesser extent, olive oil, I suppose. But yes, well played, sir. Yeah, indeed. Busy Mama Perino says Cher will never stop performing. Yeah, a bunch of acts say they have a farewell tour, but we'll see. Like the Who, I think they're still touring, and they had a farewell tour in the 80s. Like Bob Seger, I think he's on another farewell tour. Ekdev, welcome. Gwen Stefani performs in Vegas, does she? J-Lo? Oh, let me switch my headset because I was experiencing a little delay. Doesn't work. I'll go back to the delay. I have some Disney stories that I want to mention right now. Just some 4 quick ones, then I'll let you go. Let's see. I'm going to start with the most boring one first. All right. This one says, land has been cleared near the Fantasia Gardens for a new swan and dolphin hotel called the Cove. I didn't even know they were going to build a hotel by the Swan and Dolphin. That, and I've never stayed, nor have I ever been in the Swan or the Dolphin. I've driven by them thousands of times, it seems, but I've never been in there. I've seen, they're iconic. You can see them from Epcot, from World Drive. There's going to be a third hotel right around there, and I guess it's going to be called the Cove. Anyway, today they started putting up construction walls and clearing a site for this new hotel. I guess the tennis courts for the Swan and Dolphin are no longer there. And the pathway to the miniature golf course has been narrowed by construction walls, but you can still access the miniature golf course. Okay. All right. Next, Disney Water Parks is launching what they call a splash pack bundle. Today is the first day of that. Let me explain what the splash pack bundle is. I got to say that slow because it seems like I could get caught up in that. But beginning today, it's part of a 6-week trial run. If you go to one of the water parks, either Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon, you can purchase what they call a splash pack bundle. For $44 plus tax, this is what you get with this. You get select food and beverages at the park. That's part of the package. You get a refillable Disney water park mug, and you get a Disney-themed towel to keep. And you have a choice of Lilo and Stitch, Toy Story, Finding Nemo, or Mickey Mouse. So you get the towel, the mug, and select food and beverages at the park for $44. That seems like it's a pretty good deal. And I don't say that about Disney very often. I kid, not really. But, you know, if you're interested in eating while you're at the park, and I don't know how large the towel is, but hopefully it's a beach towel. But even if it's a bath towel, that's something that's kind of cool. And this is a add-on to your park purchase that starts today, and it will go till May 4th of this year. So if you're heading to one of the water parks, maybe consider getting one of these splash pack bundles starting today. I think I would be highly interested in that if I were going to the water park. I mean, the food itself is expensive, and then you get a souvenir mug and a towel to keep. So that's actually not bad. All right, there's that. Chat check. Busy Mama Perino is looking to stay at one of the Disney resorts in 2021. Cool. Unfortunately, the Disney water park trial period will be over by then. But that's the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. What a great time to make a trip to Walt Disney World. That'll be very cool. Was that a David Letterman move, throwing the paper? Yes, it was unintentional, but it absolutely was. I just need the broken glass sound behind me. Bob and Ashley, probably a hand towel. Probably. Still cool. A Lilo and Stitch hand towel? No, I'd rather have a beach towel. It should be. $44 plus tax. Next. This story, a new queue re-entry pass allows guests to leave and re-enter the Avatar Flight of Passage queue in Disney's Animal Kingdom. You may know that Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom has crazy long lines. It does not matter at what time of day you go. There is probably a 2.5-hour wait to get into Flight of Passage. Pardon me. This story is talking about a new pass where if you have to go to the bathroom while you're waiting in this enormously long line, you'll get a little, I saw a picture of it. It's like a little credit card shaped, sized pass that says something like re-admittance to the Flight of Passage line. And it's on a lanyard, so you don't have to hold it while you're going to the bathroom, I guess. You can hang it around your neck. But this allows you, if you're waiting in the line and you have to go to the bathroom or take a child to the bathroom, you can do that. You can get out of the line and then jump back into the line and not have to start all over again. Now, the way it works is once you get out of line, to re-enter the line, you have to wait for your group to get to the place where the standby line and the fast pass line meet, and that's where you rejoin your group. So you can get out of line to go to the bathroom, but then you'll have to wait until your family or the group you're with is at the place where the standby and the fast pass line meets, and then you re-enter the line there. So what do you think about that? I think, though this line, this attraction has crazy long lines, so do a number of attractions. They could do this for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. We were there 10 days ago, not this past weekend, the previous weekend, and there was a 3-hour wait for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So they could certainly, there are attractions that could certainly benefit from having something like this where you're providing relief to people waiting in these crazy long lines. Bob and Ashley says they'll need hundreds of those for Galaxy's Edge. No kidding. I hope they built restrooms in the queue along the queue for those attractions, so you just go to the bathroom right there. That's the way they need to do it, I think. They know they're going to get 4-hour lines for that place. Disney Nerd Herder. So all these lanyards have been in a bathroom. Lovely. Yes, I hope. You know when you can swim with the sharks in Typhoon Lagoon, and you have the mask and snorkel that hundreds of other people have used? I think they disinfect those. I'm hoping they do the same thing with these lanyards, but we'll see. It's the first day. Yeah, it's a new system. Certainly there'll be bugs to work out. And when I say bugs, I mean germs. But it might work out nicely. Yes, Big Mama Prino. Busy Mama Prino. Sorry. Yes. Busy Mama Prino also says, sounds like the wait for the Magnum roller coaster at Cedar Point years ago. Indeed. Cedar Point, if you're unfamiliar, is in Sandusky, Ohio. It is, they used to call it the Amazement Park. That was their tagline. It's an amusement park with, I don't know how many roller coasters they have now. But I remember in the 80s, for our senior skip day, we went to Cedar Point, and we rode opening month of the Magnum. Back then they called it the Magnum 2000. And we went mid-May, so crowds weren't crazy yet then, but it was a great time. We were actually able to ride that brand new roller coaster multiple times. And at the time, I think it was the biggest, tallest roller coaster in the world, the highest, steepest hill or something. No longer, but that was, that was the 80s. What are you going to do? But yeah, bathroom lanyards. What are you going to do? All right. We've landed right here. I'll just set it up. Okay. Finally, my final story is about the NBA experience. This is the place that is replacing Disney Quest in Disney Springs. They have an opening date set, and it is due to open August 12th at Disney Springs. And I didn't know much about this place, but this little news release talks about what you can expect in this place. It's more than just a basketball-themed restaurant, which is great. Certainly in a place that was large enough to house Disney Quest, they could make something very cool in that area. Let's see. According to Disney, what you'll get to do in the NBA experience is experience one of the biggest milestones for a basketball player at the NBA draft with a photo moment that recreates the atmosphere of the draft stage. So you can pretend to be a part of the NBA draft, like you're being drafted and you get a souvenir photo. Yeah, I assume with a fake NBA commissioner. And I don't know if you can go up when your name's called and give them a hug like they do. We'll see. That'll be interesting. Whatever. It's like glamour shots for NBA. And we'll see what that's all about. All right, next. You can track and improve your jump shot and passing skills in a replicated NBA Combine Challenge, complete with a scouting report that highlights your stats at the end of the session. So it's so there'll be an area that's set up where you can take jump shots and test your passing skills. I would imagine that there's a target somewhere, and you have to pass it. Probably bounce pass and other types of passes. There aren't a ton of other types of passes, but you know what I'm talking about. And so there's targets. It'll probably be automated, so you'll get a score at the end. So it's like pitch, hit, and run back in Little League. No, for me anyway, I guess. Next, step onto the court and hear the roar of the crowd as you maneuver through a series of timed shots to aim for a high score. That sounds like Wii Sports, basketball, the 3-point challenge. Maybe it's something like that. That was fun. I ruined my elbow playing Wii Sports, specifically the trying to hit home runs in the baseball game. That was my excuse for not being able to do pull-ups. I hurt my elbow playing video games. You can execute the perfect slam dunk, just like NBA superstars, captured by cameras surrounding adjustable baskets. So I would imagine adjusting them vertically, depending on the participant. And you can pretend you're in a slam dunk competition, I guess. Next. You can test your ball handling skills with an interactive trainer who will challenge you with a variety of dribbling routines. Jokes galore to be had with that one. I'm going to move on. You can use an oversized slingshot to launch basketballs at hoops of varying heights, making as many shots as possible for the clock runs out in this thrilling timed challenge. So putting basketballs in a large slingshot to aim at targets, that kind of sounds fun. I bet that will be fun. I'll be honest, before I started reading this, I was not excited about the NBA experience, but now I'm still not, but perhaps a little bit more than I was before. What else? I'm only halfway through the list, by the way. I'll go through it quicker. You can immerse yourself in a rich legacy and history of NBA and WNBA championship winning teams. That's a really flowery way to say that they're going to have old pictures hanging on the wall. You can access a team locker room that showcases up-to-date statistics and visuals of top NBA and WNBA players. Access a team locker room. Why do I need a locker room for up-to-date statistics? I wonder. I don't know. You can test your knowledge of the NBA and WNBA, past and present, during a trivia game with up to 25 participants competing against one another to be champion. Well, that's fun. Trivia is always fun. I don't know about NBA trivia, but you can enjoy 2 180-degree cinematic presentations that showcase the in-arena experience moments before the start of the game, as well as special stories from the players' perspectives. So you can pretend you're in the NBA draft, and you can also pretend that you are part of a team at the start of a game. Am I reading too much into that? Or is it just going to be a 180-degree screen that shows you the beginning of a basketball game? We'll see. You can take a seat in an interactive multi-screen module to watch replay clips from NBA games using the tools at their station to make the right calls. A bit of interactivity. Finally, you can... Well, not finally. There's 2 more things. You can play interactive basketball games from the fan favorite Pop-A-Shot to modern video games. So they'll have a bunch of Chuck E. Cheese games there and modern video games as well. So there'll be a bit of an arcade. It'd be cool if they had a nod to Disney Quest in there. I don't know how they would do it. I suppose that would be the really old video games. They would leave those in there. Yes. Finally, you'll be able to explore a retail store. Okay, they're gonna have a gift shop there. Disney Quest has been closed since July 3rd, 2017. That's been a long time. All right, 1.5 years. It seems like just yesterday it closed. But what are you going to do? One final chat check, if I could. There it is. Yeah, I don't know if I'm terribly interested in that. I will step in there and see what it's all about. I'll bet it's going to be very bright and lively and loud. I bet it'll look great in there. I just don't know anything about the NBA. I don't know if I'm that interested in it, but I bet some of those things will be kind of neat. It'll be cool to watch it, even if I don't participate. It might be cool to look at other people getting their picture taken as they get drafted or something. I don't know. We'll see. What else? Disney Nerd Herder's not interested in that at all. Yeah, it's not at the top. It's no Disney Skyliner. I'll give you that. Uber Wisdom Videos says, hearing rumors about a new park to be started soon. Nothing other than it's in the works after the new resorts are fully open. Keeping an eye on the web, tweets and whispers. A new park. I wonder what a new Disney park, what the theme of that would be. Imagine if you could start a new Disney park. What would you theme it like? What would it be? And that's tough. There aren't a ton of options. I suppose you could break down Epcot into, you can make a theme park that was totally ocean themed, or space themed, I suppose. But Epcot already has those things. Pardon me. That was my first burp of the live stream, and as you know, all burps are sponsored by D&G Explorers. Oh, where's my taglines? D&G Explorers. They're great. Okay. But yeah, certainly Walt Disney World has enough room for a new theme park or 6. But yeah, I know they're just rumors right now. But that's interesting. Who wouldn't love a new theme park over there? Bob and Ashley says, so Disney Quest was replaced by a place with games. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I won't have to worry about waiting in line for that. Yeah, I'm with you. But like I said, I'll check it out. I'll step in there and see what it's all about. Unless there's a cover charge, then I won't be bothering. Let's see. Unless it's about Larry Bird. My vision's going. I thought that said Lady Bird for a second. I know we're talking about basketball. Unless it's about Larry Bird era Celtics, not interested. Yeah, unless it's about the bad boys. Did I just trump your Larry Bird era Celtics with that one? I did. You're welcome, Detroiters. Sometime around 2021, Jason's saying near Flamingo Crossing. Where's Flamingo Crossing? I'm trying to think of where that is. I don't know. Let me know. Busy Mama Prino, Star Wars themed. Absolutely. Elisa Stenberg, Marvel. Now that Disney owns 21st Century Fox, do all of those licensing agreements that Marvel had with Universal Studios, I don't know what the status of all that is. I know that east of the Mississippi, for a while, Disney couldn't make anything that mentioned Avengers or anything before a certain date. Like Walt Disney World can have Guardians of the Galaxy and I think Black Panther, and some of the newer movies can be mentioned, maybe Ant-Man, stuff like that. But they can't have an Iron Man or a Hulk or a Thor-themed attraction in their parks because of the licensing agreements. But now that Disney owns all this new stuff, I don't know if that's still in effect or what's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this delayed live stream. Got a bit of a late start, but thank you for sticking around. It was great to have Derek from D&G Explorers on the stream, taking us on a tour of Las Vegas. That was a blast. Thank you again for joining me. I will be back next Tuesday at 7:30. And have a great week. I don't believe there'll be a D&G live stream tomorrow again. I mean, they're still in Vegas, aren't they? I didn't really talk to them about that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not going to have one. But if they are going to have one, I'll be there. Watch your notifications, I suppose. Well, I'm done flapping my gums. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great week. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.